Today we came to the fantastic Longleat Safari Park near Warminster, and what a fantastic day it was. The first day that the park had been open all year, and we queued up for 20 minutes to get in at 9:30 and then made our way down the long track, and in the distance we could see the main house. As we got closer, the sheer magnitude of it amazed us. From the front, an absolutely outstanding house, and we hope to have a look at that later, but it was the safari we headed for. We were signed up to do the bronze VIP tour, so we got a tour guide. We were in one of the zebra 4x4 vehicles. You can see the standard ticket prices there. So we were at the start of our safari experience, and we could not wait to get started. We met our driver Richard, made our way to the car, and we got in. Straight away we looked over to the next field, and we saw a car passing through the monkey enclosure. That looked like a lot of fun. We passed through the ostriches, which of course, unlike many birds, are incapable of flight, and then saw something that I've only ever seen before in The Lion King, and it was fantastic to see a warthog up close for the first time ever. Looked exactly like I thought he would. Ugly little brute, but great fun to see. Then we came to the big cats, and the first enclosure that we came into was the tiger. Tiger is a solitary. There's 4 at Longleat in total. This one was out today, tucking into a big dinner behind this log. So this was the best view we got. However, moving on to the lions, the first pride we got to, again, they were all eating, so they were active, having fun, walking about, getting pretty close to the car. And as you can see, we had a fantastic view. With the VIP tour, you do get closer than what you would do if you were driving around in your own car. And they drive backwards, forwards, reverse. They get as close to the animals and make sure everyone can get a really good view. And we couldn't recommend it enough, really. The information we were being told about the animals, the history, the families of the animals, it was absolutely fantastic. And it was pretty nerve-wracking hearing these guys growl and roar right next to the car. They look really big close up, and kind of seeing them a mixture of chilled, relaxing, playing, eating. It really was great, and they had really big amounts of space to be active in. Now, we were very, very lucky. Every time I've been to Longleat before, it's been in summer. The animals have just been lounging around, lazy, not really doing a lot, sleeping. But we did see them up and about and active so much today. And they really are magnificent animals. There's 23 lions in total at Longleat, which is a fantastic collection. We left the first pride, and the car started making its way through to the second pride. We passed this fantastic statue, bigger than life size, and then there we were, straight away, right next to another fantastic pride of lions, all eating bits of meat and bones. We're not completely sure what their dinner was. Didn't look very appetizing to me, but they were loving it. But getting so close to these animals, and how healthy they looked, and they couldn't care less that we were 2 meters away from them, watching, taking photos, videoing. And again, the information we're getting from our driver Richard was second to none. Some of the stories he was telling about the animals and about Longleat in general is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I won't ruin any for you in case you get to go out with Richard or any of the other fantastic members of the team there, but we had a really, really good time. One of my favourite things here, these big cats. And look, we even got to see this one chase off a female lion. Look at that. That is fantastic to see. There we go. That kept her at bay for a little while. Then we moved on to the cheetahs. Very proud, very lean, very muscular animals. There were 2 cheetahs out today. Again, not long after dinner, so very lucky they were out. And she was just patrolling their area. It was pretty clear to us that the cheetahs, being as fast as they were very, very good at catching birds, because there was no bird life in their enclosure, unlike the lions. This was one of the other cheetahs that wasn't out in the main open bit, but in an enclosure, but managed to get a good shot of her eating, and you can just sort of see her eyes. What a fierce animal. I was happy to be that side of the fence and in the car, that's for sure. Moved on to the hyenas. Again, just been fed. If there's one thing I can recommend is to get there really, really early. They're fed just before it's open, so they're all out and about, searching for bits of food. Never seen a hyena this close up. Really, really enjoyed it. It looks like a dog, but obviously part of the cat family. Very, very intimidating looking animal. He was staring at us there, staring at the vehicle, and you can't help but shudder. And we went into the wolves, and there was a bit of a fight going on through the car window, you can see there. And the poor wolf on the bottom there, when it gets up, you can see its tail was really tucked in behind his legs, showing signs of submission. But again, out, active, looking healthy, lots of space, and a real pleasure to see. This guy is a common eland. Believe it or not, he is capable of jumping up to 3 meters in the air. Something we didn't see today, but quite a sight. Pink flamingos, looking really, really healthy. Chilling out, eating, standing on one leg, doing what flamingos do. Now, my son's favourite bit of the day, he was looking forward to the monkeys all day, and straight away, there we go. As soon as we got in the enclosure, an inquisitive monkey jumped straight up onto the car to have a look around, and it didn't take long before more came. Idiot driver there, nearly ran a monkey over, going far too fast. But what cute animals, sat around eating, huddled up with their families, having little fun rides on the cars, and not to mention ripping some of the cars to pieces. Lots and lots of bits of windscreen wipers and wires and reverse light indicators and all sorts of bits and cars lying all over the road. Fun to see, not very fun for the drivers, but look how cute they are. You know, who cares if you've got like 600 quid's worth of damage if you've got some cute monkeys sat in your car for a little ride. So, you know, you take the good with the rough, really. But we really enjoyed seeing them. Lots of little babies, lots of little groups of families. And believe it or not, it does look like there are hundreds and hundreds out there, but they get them all in every single night into the enclosure. So we just assumed they stayed out the whole time, but they actually go to bed every single night. It's quite amazing, really. Now, the driver of this Mini Cooper will not be very happy when he gets home. You can see there the monkey holding the wire of his reverse sensor at the back, and there it is, sort of dragging along the floor. Also damage to both his front windscreen wipers as well. Moved on to these deer. My family were given some food from Richard, and we were feeding these guys. They gathered and circled around the car. Really good to see these guys up close. Fortunately, they didn't start trying to stick their heads in, but they were very tame, very friendly. Just wanted a bit of food. This was a real highlight for my daughter, to kind of hand feed animals. Bigger than common deer. These guys are social animals. They're ankle cattle, and they're really protective of their young. At night, the adults sleep in a circle, and in the centre are the calves. Their horns look heavy, but in fact, they're actually hollow. Cool looking animals. Moved over to the camels. Yeah, they're very long eyelashes, and they can close their nostrils to keep out sand, and their feet are wide so they can spread their weight when walking. And they have a rich fat store, which is what the humps are used for. And they can go without food or water for a long time. Mouths wide open today, just watching the birds and the cars, and just enjoying the day. Moved on to the zebras and the giraffes. Now in summertime, these guys are out in the kind of vast lands, but during the winter, where their hooves can get affected by the kind of damp, wet conditions, they're in the enclosure that we saw them in today. But absolutely fantastic, majestic animals. Animals that are kind of paired together in the wild as well. Remarkable how tall the giraffes are, and how vivid the colours are of the zebra when you see them up close. Hopped out of the car to see these guys, but again, if you went in the summertime, you would be kind of driving around seeing these animals, like we did the big cats. These guys are used to English ways. Look at them queuing in perfect formation, probably for food, who knows, but yeah. And then here we go, one of my favourites, the rhinos. They just look like dinosaurs. They look so prehistoric. Really small eyes, really fast. The reason they got a reputation for banging into stuff is because their eyesight isn't really that good. They don't really know what they're doing, but they were just sort of mooching about today, quite chilled out. But again, it was just amazing to get this close to what is like a truly fantastic animal. It was now time to head out on foot. The tour with Richard had been fantastic. We'd been out about 2.5 hours. We'd learnt so much information, had a fantastic time. Everybody loved it. So we're on foot, walking around Longleat, seeing the rest of the fantastic animals. Longleat, of course, has been here since 1966. It caused a bit of a revolution in the world of zoological collections by becoming the first location outside of Africa to open a drive-through safari park. For the first time in a private collection, animals were able to move freely across nearly 100 acres of land and interact naturally with each other. Despite the initial concerns of locals with regards to the introduction of lions to Wiltshire, the safari park concept was a great success, and Longleat's groundbreaking innovation has been repeated all over the world. Over 50 years later, Longleat remains one of the country's leading wildlife attractions and continues to be at the forefront of zoological innovation. Now, I was very intrigued to find out what a Kirk's dik-dik was. Unfortunately, there was no dik-dik to be seen anywhere. Now it's on to the meerkat, a favourite of a lot of people. They were quite chilled out today. It was a pretty cold day, so they were just sat there looking around, and it was on to the boat trip. So there's probably about a 5-minute queue, not too long at all. There was the chance to see a couple of hippos here. We didn't get to see them today, but they are there. 2 of them. We looked everywhere. There's some more monkeys on the island. There's also some gorillas on the boat trip as well, which we did manage to see. There we go. Absolutely fantastic. Now my zoom's on quite far. You can see how far away we were actually on the boat there, but still fantastic to see. The sea lions came out to greet us. Must have been 4 or 5. On the boat they were kind of chucking fish out the side to kind of get them up and about and interacting. Saw another gorilla on the move. And then back off the boat, come across this red panda. Never got as close as that to one and seen one so active. I've only ever seen them still up in the tree, so this was a bit of a treat indeed. Then what used to be the penguin enclosure now houses a couple of crocodiles. These guys look fierce, and again, how close we could get to these guys, seeing the blacks of their eyes, and how sharp their teeth were. They're truly prehistoric. They're dinosaurs. It was just unbelievable seeing them that close, and pretty terrifying. And a big favourite of the kids. First time they've ever seen koalas. We're seeing these fantastic animals, mainly all asleep, chilling out. But we got very, very lucky right at the end of our day, and we did see this little fella wake up, slightly dozily, and have a look around. Amazing day at Longleat, amazing day on the VRP Safari Bronze trip. Loved it, can't wait to go back.